Hey guys, it's James here again from Replica Reviews, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Now I went into the shop this morning just to see what was around, and I had a plan in my mind of what we were going to do. We've got a boot full of pumpkins, obviously being Halloween, and we've got shotguns and all sorts, and the idea was we were just going to blow some pumpkins up. But something caught my eye in the locker. Now when I was looking through and buying some HMR ammunition, I came across this. Now this is some Federal Game Shok. Now it is, if I read the box here, 25 grain number 12 lead shot, but in a 22 long rifle cartridge. Now this is something I haven't come across before, and I saw it, I thought that could be a right giggle. So we bought a box of it. The idea is we're just going to, again, we've got a pattern board, we're going to shoot some pumpkins with it as well. So stuff's still going to get blown up, and it will be something different. But I've never come across it. Now it does look slightly different to your usual 22 long rifle. So this here is an Ely 10X. So quite a decent round, actually, incredibly consistent, which leads to quite a good grouping. And then this here is the Game Shok. So it looks a little bit more like a blank. For those of you that have seen like 223 and 308 blanks, it's a crimped end on the end, and you can just see some shot in the end of the round here. But they're both pretty much the same size, sort of side by side. So we're going to take the silencer off, because obviously I don't want to blow the silencer to pieces, and we're going to see what happens. Now one thing that I will mention before we go on that I didn't quite realise was, I assumed it would have to go on my ticket as a recorded piece of ammunition. Obviously here in the UK, if you're watching this from abroad, any ammunition that we buy for a firearm has to go on a certificate. It proves that we're using our rifles, and it just keeps track of ammunition used, and yeah, there's loads of boring stuff, but we won't go into it. But this actually, because it's shot, it's classed as a shotgun round. So although it looks like a 22 long rifle, and to all intents and purposes it is a 22 long rifle, it goes on your shotgun ticket. Now something else I didn't realise was you can buy 22 caliber shotguns. Now it's quite a niche gun, and the person in the shop, she's been working in it for quite a while. She said in her time she's only ever seen 3. So they are fairly unusual. So what we'll do is we'll move on to the first test, which will be patterning. We're going to start quite close and we'll move back out. It's just a paper board that we'll be shooting at. So we'll start at, I don't know, should we start at 5 yards, see how they pattern, see what the spread's like, and then we'll keep pushing back and see what the effective range of this round is. So anyway, let's crack on with the fun bit. Okay, so we're going to be using a CZ455, just for anybody that's curious. We're taking the moderator off because obviously you don't really want to blow it out. And we're just going to do one round at a time in the mag. It's nice and safe, and it's an approximate sort of 5 feet, and it is going to be very much point and shoot. So look. Okay, so point of aim was really kind of in the middle. As you can see, we've got a cluster of shot here, a huge gap around here, and then a couple just off on the edges, and that was at 5 feet. So we'll push back and we'll see whatever groupings we get. We'll try 10 feet. I think any further than that, the patterns are going to be too wide to use by the looks of it. So yeah, see what happens. Alright, so it's approximately 10 yards again. We're going to use just a single round loaded in. So pull him off, load up. Okay, so I think we're really getting to the workable, usable range really. The pattern is basically everywhere. I've got shot all the way down here. In fact, I've got a little one, yeah, down there. And everywhere. Pretty much everywhere but where I was aiming. So I think what we'll do now is we'll go back to maybe 5 yards and we'll get some pumpkins and we'll do a bit of penetration tests. So seeing as it's Halloween and we're doing obviously ultra scientific research, it seemed fair to use a pumpkin. Now last time we shot food I got told off for using expensive eggs. So this here is a 59p Lidl special. So we've gone for the cheapest pumpkins we can find. So let's move out to about 5 yards and put a couple of rounds into it. Okay, so as I said a second ago, we got Lidl's finest pumpkin down the end there. Just got a couple of rounds of this this birdshot. Let's see what we can do. We'll fire one shot at the start, just to go and have a quicker look, see if it's going through the pumpkin, whether it's got any kind of penetration value to it as such. And then, assuming there's no damage, we will swip it over and just put a couple of rounds in quite quick concession into it. So. Okay, so tests. We've got a decent pattern across here. We've hit pretty much most of the front of the pumpkin. got a graze on the top there from where we've just gone back. But if we roll it over, no, none of them have exited out the back. So as far as penetration wise, I'm not entirely sure how far they've gone in, but they've certainly gone in somewhere. But like I say, good coverage, 5 yards. These things have certainly got their place. So what we'll do is we'll turn the pumpkin round, and I'll just put a couple of rounds into it, just see if sort of multiple shots will make much of a difference. So as I said a second ago, guys, not really much going through, so swapped it over. I've got 2 rounds in here. We'll put a final 2 rounds into the pumpkin, see if multiple shots will create a bit more of an impact as such. So yeah, see if we can blow this pumpkin up. So pretty much the same result. Now I was kind of hoping that might cause a little bit more damage. Right, plan B, I've got an idea. So as I say, guys, I was kind of hoping for a bit more damage than that, so I'm going to use my plan B, which is cheating slightly. So the Mossberg 590. So what we're going to do is get some ear pro on and see what my 50 gram BB 3-inch Magnum rounds are going to do to it. I'm guessing probably not a lot, but there's only one way to find out. Okay, so that's pretty much finished with the Federal Game Shok. Now, it's worth noting we were using it for a rifled barrel, so if you did have a smoothbore 22 caliber shotgun, it might sort of pattern a little bit differently. But as you would have seen for us, at about 5 yards, it would make an amazing ratting round. It was hitting a consistent pattern, but it wasn't over penetrating, so you're not going to blow everything behind it into the middle of next week. So if you're walking around, you know, if I had it around a horse yard, for example, and I saw some rats on the floor, I could shoot them, you know, with reasonable kind of comfort, knowing that I'm not going to blow the backside of the building out or whatever. And you know, I can see their point from that point of view. Now, they're not the cheapest in the world. For this box of 50, it costs us £15, which for 22 caliber round is quite expensive, but it's definitely got its place. Now, as I say earlier on, we were using it for a rifled barrel. We did take the moderator off. The muzzle report wasn't too horrific. I was shooting it without ear protection comfortably. There was no ringing, there was no kind of, oh, you know, that's a bit too much. It was a comfortable round. And what we did notice, when they were firing and ejecting, there was no hung cartridges. They were ejecting beautifully. You see here, the crimp has come out as it should really. So there's no issues with running this for a bolt action rifle. Now, one thing I would notice, or would advise really, I'm not sure they're going to have enough oomph to cycle in a semi-automatic gun, but there is only one way to find out. So if anybody's out there with a semi-auto, go and give them a try. Now, we picked these up from our local dealer. Obviously, being a Federal round, you should be able to get them pretty easily. But yeah, it's a bit of a laugh. I can kind of see their point, but I bought them, as I say, for a laugh more than anything else. As I say, we've killed the pumpkin, so I'm going to go and clear the mess up behind me with the 12 gauge. And we'll very much go from there. But anyway, if you want to ask any questions, put them in the comments box below. If you want to see more from us, we're going to have a few more bits with the shotguns coming up. Feel free to subscribe. Say any questions, comments, put them down below. But anyway, guys, and see you next time.